Namaskar, welcome to Honest Astrologer, and today I'm going to talk about a very important concept called understanding Shani. So, we will look at some astrological, mythological, and logical explanations of Shani. I've repeated many a time that 90% of the people who come to me are going through a Rahu Ketu or a Shani period. Clients are often shocked to read this, and some laugh nervously when they talk about it. And they often question, how did I know? Well, honestly, I did not use any sorcery or sixth sense, and I don't have any supernatural powers. I just used good old plain logic, some database, and pattern study. In my view, the sorrows of humanity were divided between these three planets. They carry the responsibility of punishing us for our bad karma. It is mostly during the period of these three when a person is looking for an astrologer. Understanding Shani, Rahu, and Ketu is something that every astrologer should focus on, just like a doctor focuses on understanding disease so that he can cure his patients and reduce their suffering. However, out of these three, Shani is the one who calls the maximum shots. After all, he is the boss of Kali Yuga. In my experience, I have seen that Shani is one planet that can make or break the horoscope. He can make paupers out of kings and kings out of paupers. A well placed Shani alone is sufficient to rescue an otherwise tough horoscope, while a poorly placed Shani could delay and deny most pleasures of life in a good horoscope. Thanks to Shani's power and his ability to afflict pain, he has been a victim of fear mongering and has been made villain by the medieval astrologers. With the advent of Abrahamic religions, Saturn was literally demonized. The word Satan is a distorted form of Saturn. This fear mongering went on for several hundred years, and things like Sade Saati, Dhaiya, and Panauti were invented to keep people in perpetual fear of Shani. For the record, I am not a big fan of Sade Saati. It does have some impact, but not as large as it is credited with. If you have a good Mahadasha Antardasha, Sade Saati is not that big a deal. I would rather have a good Mahadasha Antardasha with a Sade Saati than have a bad Mahadasha Antardasha without a Sade Saati. At any given point of time, 25% of the world population is undergoing Sade Saati, so not everybody gets similar results. I am not a big fan of the Sade Saati concept, and I think it has done more damage than good. However, thankfully, the ancient truth is making a comeback. More and more people are walking up to the good side of Saturn and are recognizing its benefits. Now, thanks to some social media and some TV serials, people are starting to slowly understand and appreciate the good sides of this planet, and I'm doing my bit with this video. Now, let's get to know Saturn. One of the best descriptions of his appearance has been given in the ancient story of Saturn and King Vikramaditya in the book The Greatness of Saturn. There is a scene where all the pundits are describing all the planets, and the pundit describing Saturn says something like this: Saturn is the supreme terrifier among the planets. All beings fear him, for he rules bereavements and misfortunes. If pleased, he will give you a kingdom. But if irate, he will snatch everything away from you in a moment. Even King Indra and gods panic when Saturn is nearby. And for over the ages of many thousands of Indras have been overtaken by the power of time. Then he comes to the physical description of Saturn. He says, Lord Saturn is tall, black, long limbed, and emaciated, with reddish brown eyes, large teeth and nails, prominent veins, a sunken stomach, a long beard, matted locks, and a profuse, coarse, and stiff body hair. He is lame and his limbs are rigid. His constitution is vata. Intensely harsh, he is cruel in authority, and his gaze, which is directed downward, is utterly terrifying. Shani is an outcast who worships Kal Bhairava. He is also known as the slow, the endless, the end causer, the steady, the controller. I would repeat. He is also known as the slow, the endless, the end causer, the steady, the controller. No wonder Shani people are control freaks. Now, do you see how Shani is representation of Shiva in a tough mood? Shiva is Bholenath when he represents moon, which is sweet and childlike. and Shiva as Bhairava, the terrifier, represents Shani when he is out to do justice in his badass avatar. In order to further understand Shani, we need to appreciate the fact that he is the antithesis of his father Sun. So, Sun, while is the center of the solar system, the real power among all 9 planets resides with Shani. Just like Shiva is the supreme god of the universe, Shani is the boss of the solar system, the real boss which has most power. They named the solar system after the sun. After all, sun likes to be at the center of all things, up to and including solar system. But we astrologers know who holds the power over the system, who is the power behind the curtain. That is Shani. He is the farthest and coldest of all planets. The planet of harsh realities lives in faraway corners of our solar system. In many ways, he is the antithesis of his father, Sun. Sun is hot, Shani is cold. Sun prefers to be at the center, Shani likes to be in the unseen corners. Sun leads from the front, Shani likes to pull the strings from behind the curtain. Sun loves to be the poster boy, Saturn likes to be the unseen puppeteer. Sun is the alpha, Shani is the sigma. Sun is exalted in Aries, the sign of self and ego, while Shani is exalted in Libra, the sign of others and justice. For the record, they are debilitated in each other's exaltation signs. So this shows the kind of inverse relationship these 2 planets have. And whenever they sit together, it's a very difficult chart to handle. For Shani, most important thing is justice. Now, anybody with a strong Shani would have a bias towards justice, particularly Shani in the 9th house. Shani delivers our karma to us. It does torment, but it only torments as much as we deserve. Nothing less, nothing more. Shani would not do injustice to even his enemies. Now, here is a Shani secret that you should know. Shani is a tough teacher and your good friend. Yes, I just said that. Shani is a friend of humanity. Now, man is the only being who has the faculty of knowledge and ability to understand and analyze and even change karma. While all other planets give good or bad results, mostly in a fixed manner, Shani is a flexible planet when it comes to altering your karma. Of course, Drid karma cannot be altered, that's a different thing. We'll take it up in a different video. But Shani is one planet that lets you make yourself better, and it also cleans up a boatload of bad karma. One of the things which I studied about Shani and found a secret which made me fall in love with this planet all over again. So, Shani is like a tough father figure, a stern but well meaning teacher that will give you a tough test but push in a little help or a hint or two when you need it the most. Not enough to make things easy though, but just enough to encourage you to go on provided you have done your best. Okay. Just enough to give you that extra encouragement when you are doing your best, you are hustling hard. Don't we all have that one teacher who is stern, no nonsense, rejected almost every request for a break or a fun period? But when the exams came, you thanked him for all his efforts. He risked even your hatred in order to do what was right for you in the long term. And you ended up scoring maximum marks in his subject. You still remember that teacher with fondness and bless his or her soul, don't you? That is how Shani is. I hope you like him a little bit more now. Now, I must say that Shani values are the best Shani remedy. While I would do an entire video on propitiating Shani using astrological remedies, however, this karmic planet has a thing for values and karmic remedies. During Shani period and overall in general, sticking to the below Shani values would be the best way to make your Shani favorable. Value number 1, hard work. I've almost always asked my clients to increase their working hours in a Shani Dasha, and they should expect less reward for their efforts. While some are disappointed, others who take this as karma yoga find this thing liberating. However, the toughest time for Shani is reserved for the eternal students who spend all their time in Jupiter Dasha dominating the classroom, but then find themselves in a drag when it comes to Shani Dasha. I have often advised such people to go get a job in Shani period, as it would ease their Shani and make their life easier. And surprisingly, it almost always works. Even a part time job would do, but for the sake of God and yourself, start working hard. Shani loves a Karma Yogi, he doesn't like ideal students. Value number two, discipline. Shani doesn't fool around and neither should you, especially if you are going through a Shani period. Get up on time, reach office on time, do an honest day's work, and keep up with your gym routine. Be busy enough, and Shani would not bother you so much. Quality number three, minimalism. Shani loves minimalism. It would squeeze you in terms of resources and would expect you to squeeze every resource and stretch every penny. Taking a vow of voluntary poverty and keeping a rigid cap on personal expenditure is always a good idea. For Shani, less is more. Trust me, this is the way to peace. Take up voluntary poverty before Shani gives you compulsory poverty. Another value is reality. This is one reason that New Age people are not very fond of Shani. Shani is very objective, he wants people to face reality. The bunch of New Agers who believe in the secret and are still waiting for the $1 million check to drop into their hands can't stand the don't fool yourself lessons of Shani. They call it pessimism and negative thinking. I mean, being honest, Shani is just asking you to face and accept the reality, only then are you going to improve it. Running away from reality and escapism wouldn't work. Not with Shani. And next quality, justice. Treat everyone right, especially the people who are in lowly position. Treat your waiters, drivers, and daily wage laborers right. Pay their dues on time and leave a good tip. And like in India, they say, do not take the curse from the poor. Remember, Shani is their defender. It is not just their ruler, it is also their defender. You harass a poor man, Shani strikes back. What goes around comes around, and Shani is the planet that ensures that this would happen. And as we all know, Shani delivers. So it's better to be in the good books of Shani Dev. I hope this article was able to dispel a few myths and make you like Lord Shani a little more. He is tough, but he is just. Remember, those who love you the most are the ones who don't shy away from delivering tough love, and Shani loves humanity enough. Jai Shani Dev.